Awesome. This is Jeremy Damaris live from Detroit, and I thank God because today I am blessed to meet one of my good friend Olivia Becker and Zach Becker. Msichana wetu kutoka upande wa Kisii. Mungu alimbariki akakuja hapa America, and within 3 weeks Mungu alimpatia mpenzi. Now they have married for 6 years. That's very inspiring. I want to talk with them and tell us how the journey has been. Kwa hivyo usiguze huyo mtambo ndio tuweze kusikia Olivia na Becker wamewezaje kufika mahala hapa katika mapenzi yao. 3 weeks down the line wakapatana, wakaoana, sasa tuko hapa. Naitwa Jeremy Damaris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And Olivia
Becker, yeah.
Becker, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
You're looking awesome together.
Thank you.
How is the feeling to have a Kenyan?
Oh, it's a good feeling, you know. The culture is a little bit different sometimes.
Right.
But, you know, it's all about compromise.
You're right, yes. Awesome. Anyway, let me give you this opportunity to say hi to our viewers, Mr. Becker.
Yeah, hi. I'm Zach. You know, I've been married to Olivia now for 5 years. We have 2 children and 1 on the way. I'm just so blessed, and I thank God for all the blessings that I've received. So,
congratulations for the ones on the way. Hey, Olivia.
Hi.
Salimia watu wetu.
Hello, hi, how are you? My name is Olivia Becker. This is my husband, Zachary Becker. I am a mother of 2 boys, Asha and Amani. Asha is 3 and Amani is 1.5 years. We live in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I'm blessed to be here today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from? Back in Kenya?
Back in Kenya, I come from Kisii, Kenya.
Kisii.
Yes.
Wailili.
Yeah, Wailili.
Wailili.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I come from Kisii, Kenya.
Right.
I'm a Gusi by tribe, but my parents live in Nakuru.
Right.
Nakuru, that's where I grew up, and my dad was working in Nakuru Law Court, and then he managed to buy a plot there, and then he built, but we are currently in Nakuru. So in Kisii we just go see grandma and come back,
right.
do farming, but we are settled in Nakuru, Kenya. Yeah.
Wow, nice to hear your background. Can we get your background a little bit, sir?
Yeah, so I'm from Southeast Michigan, or Southwest Michigan, rather, sorry.
Right.
It's a small town called Marcellus. It's just like a village with a lot of agricultural background. So, yeah, that's it.
I mean, so how was it when you were growing up?
It was pretty nice, actually, growing up in the country. Like, you know, we could go out and just play in the woods, or, you know, we could go ride our 4-wheelers and just have fun as a kid. And, you know, our parents didn't have to worry when we went outside to play, so
right.
that was really nice.
I mean, so you had a good background growing up. You never missed a dinner once.
No.
So now, have your wife told you her background when she, but I think you said your father was working in the court, so.
Yeah, he was a librarian by profession. My father was a librarian by profession. He was the only sole breadwinner.
Right.
While my mother was a housewife. So my dad taking care of 6 kids was very hard.
Right.
So we were not super, like, you know, like chapati we could eat over Christmas at times.
Yes.
You know, when we go for lunch, we could find sometimes the mom has prepared like tea with some guashe, they call them sweet potatoes,
Yes.
and then you go back to school. So it was not like, we didn't like have like that super high life, but all in all,
we thank God. You made it.
Yeah, I made it.
Now here you are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now let me know, because when we are growing up, definitely when we were in those middle school, middle classes, our teacher used to ask us, when you grow up, what do you want to become? Who do you want to be? I mean.
Yeah, personally, when I really wanted to become a nurse.
Yes.
When I was growing up. But in Kenya, after I finished my high school, I I didn't reach the cutoff. You know, there's a Kenya Medical Training College whereby you have to get like a C plus, like with a, I don't know, a C plus in math, a C plus in chemistry. It was like those cutoff kicked me out. But you know, that is when my dad was like, oh, I think I can get you a good course. Like you can go to Kenya Polytechnic and do library science and become like me. It's a good job, you see.
Right.
It brings food on the table. And I'm like, yeah, it's not like I had a choice. I really wanted to also go to college like other kids.
Yes.
So I went to college to Kenya Polytechnic. That was between 2005 to 2007. I did my diploma and then I did my bachelor's after that. Between 2011 to 2014. Yeah, it took me a long time because I really had to get a job so that I'm able to pay my school fees.
Right.
My dad was able to pay for my diploma, and then I had to go look for a job because now he was left taking care of other siblings, you know. So I got a job and I was able to pay for my bachelor's, also with the help of HELB, you know. And after that, after I graduated with my bachelor's, I got a good job in a university, Pan-Africa Christian University. Yes, I worked there for like 5 years. Then after that, I was able to get a better job in a government institution. I went to Kitui County. I went to Southeastern Kenya University. I went there and worked for like 2-3 years. Then while I was there, I enrolled for my master's in the University of Nairobi. And after enrolling in the University of Nairobi is when the doors started opening. I started applying for scholarships, to go abroad to present papers. I remember my first presentation was in Harvard University.
Wow.
We were invited there for a conference on digital preservation, and I was selected as one of the students from the University of Nairobi to go and represent my class there.
Wow.
So that is how I managed to come to the United States in 2018. I came and then I went back. Then more trips started opening. Now I became a member of American Library Association.
Right.
So I kept coming, going back, and then that is how in those going and coming is when I came to meet Zach.
Mr. Baker.
Mr. Baker.
Now, I mean, when you growing up, did you ever thought of maybe men marrying someone from Kenya? Or...
So, I always just kind of kept my preferences open. You know, there's no use in like saying that you prefer this or that kind of ethnicity or anything. You know, it's just, so I didn't really think I would marry someone from Kenya. No, but
you were just open.
Yeah, but I always laughed and joked about, you know, there's somebody out there for everybody, but the person for me is very far away.
That's what you used to say?
Yeah, because it seemed like I wasn't getting in any relationships. I was single for like 9 years.
Wow.
After I graduated high school, it was just, you know, and that was okay. I just worked and took care of myself and
until she just came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to date on Plenty of Fish. It's a dating website. And I met a few women from there. But it just seemed like nobody was really serious. And whenever I entered into a relationship, my end goal was always to, like, you know, be with this person and get married. But it seemed like a lot of people were really scared of that kind of commitment.
They just want to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And why are you different? Because many people over here just want to have that open relationships. Like, I mean, you're just my boyfriend.
Well, because I just don't really have a lot of like in between like that. I'm just kind of all in. That's just me. You know, I just kind of give my whole self to somebody when I decide that they're right for me. You know, so and that did get me hurt a couple times, right? But I'm just really glad that I met Olivia, and you know, I wasn't finding myself lost when it came to, you know, the end or anything like that.
Okay. Now, Olivia, you just said during your trips that's when you met him.
Yes.
I mean, how did it happen?
Yeah, so it happened that I have my best friend. He lives in Wisconsin. He was my classmate in primary school, Mama Ngina Academy in Kenya. So, so he invited me over for a weekend in. Okay, first, before even I came to Michigan, on my first trip to Harvard, I met a host there. So the host in Massachusetts told me that there was some volunteer position in Michigan, Kalamazoo. Someone needed help in taking care of the elderly. So that's why I came here to volunteer. So while I'm volunteering, as I wait for my time to go back to Kenya, my friend Chris calls me. He lives in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is not far away from from Michigan. It's like 2.5 hours. So he paid for my train. He lives with his family there. And just to catch up, you know, it's been so many years since we completed our primary school. So I went there and we talked, and then he told me how he met his wife, and he told me about this app, and I'm like, no. In the first place I was like,
Up 10.
you know, and then, you know, I've heard stories of how, you know, serial killing, and I'm like,
yes,
how do you even trust somebody? There are so many catfish, you know, like I was not in for it. But for some reason, when I came back to Michigan, I noticed there's no social life at all. Like the culture here, you don't even know your next door neighbor. Like people don't talk.
You're right.
Now where do you go? You hide you go now to the apps. You're like, that's maybe you get socialization. That's how I went, and I opened that app. For some reason, I had so many apps. I don't know, nowadays, in these phones of ours, when we talk things, you'll find some things popping up in relation to what you're talking, you know. So I see, plenty of fish, you know. It was just one boring evening. I just opened, and I was just curious, like, how does this thing work? Because I always hear that, oh, you swipe right, like whatever you like. So I went there, and yeah, so actually being on that app, I didn't even like stay 2-3 days of, you know. That's when I saw Zach. You know what happens is when you put the qualities of someone you are looking for, Christian, ready for marriage, there's some selection you do there.
Yes.
So it brings people that are close to you, or whatever, non-smoker, non-drink. It brings people in that circle.
Yes.
And then the way that app works, it brings people near you. So Zach was near that area. So it's like it looks for single people near you with those characteristics. Yeah. So one of the reasons that I loved Zach is that he took his time. Like when he texts, like he texts a long paragraph. I'm like, who does that? The other people are like, hi, you know, hi. But this one really means it. Hi,
Right.
gorgeous. How you doing? How was your day? My day was. He was just telling me so many things about his day, and I'm like, hey, this person is so serious. Hey, like, hey, do you think we can meet soon? Yeah, and then I'm like, so sometimes in the evening it was a boring evening. Most of the like residents were taken care of are sleeping by 7, you know. And then I had free time, and then during summer you find like the sun is until 9, so it is broad daylight.
Yes.
And also being new in America, you want to experience, you want to go places. So he's like, oh yeah, there's some subway nearby here. You can just grab a sandwich. You know, even if you go there, you don't even have to agree with him. Just go and see him,
Yes.
you know. So we agreed to meet in a public place. So we went to Subway. I remember for the first time, went to Subway. We talked to each other. I think from there, Zach kept coming like every evening after work. Yeah, to come and see me, and from there our bond started growing. And then I think in a week's or 2 weeks time, I was going to Canada. I had another meeting, like I had a conference in Canada.
Right.
So before I left, he proposed to me, and I'm
Wow.
like, we are barely
2 weeks?
Yeah.
It was closer to 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. He proposed to me, and he told me his parents want to see me, and I'm like,
It doesn't happen like that in Kenya.
Oh my goodness.
It takes years.
It takes years for someone to introduce you to
Right.
the parents. Yeah, so I met Zach's parents. They were really nice to me. They were very welcoming. And the following day, I flew to Canada. I don't know. I think he was thinking I was not coming back for some reason, but he was shocked when I told me, yeah, I'm coming back to the US because I had another meeting in Washington, D.C.
Right.
So I went to Canada, came back, and then our relationship continued. Then he convinced me, he told me that he wants to marry me, you know. And then that is when we started wedding preparation.
Allah.
Because I really want to also run out of status. You know how bad it is in this country.
Yes.
And I had my master's going on. I had not graduated, and I had my government job in Kitui. So I was like weighing. So to see how serious he was, I chose to stay. And
so let's come back to this now. In that app, so you are the first who said hi, or is Zach?
He's the first one that said hi.
So you said hi, and then what's that attracted you to her most?
Well, I just read her bio, and I was just really interested. She seemed like a really nice woman, and she was obviously very beautiful. And so I messaged her, and at first she didn't even respond. I sent her like a couple messages, and I waited a couple days, or maybe like a day, and she didn't respond. And then I sent a message, and I was like, dating here in the U.S., like, it's really tough, and people don't like to be serious.
Yes.
I feel like I could save you like a lot of stress. We could at least just meet and see how we can are compatible with each other. So we decided to meet.
So when first you saw her, now live, she's here. Olivia is now coming. What went to your mind?
So I was also just nervous when I went to go meet her. So I was sharing my location with friends and family because I was meeting somebody that I didn't know very well from the internet. So, but when I saw her, I was so happy. I was a little bit anxious and nervous, but I got over that pretty fast. She made me really comfortable, and
now here you are.
yep.
So when she agreed, now you said it's my time to take over now. 3 weeks, I need her to be my wife.
Yeah, well, I knew that she was maybe going to go back home, and there was a long process of applying for a K-1 visa.
Yes.
And I didn't feel like I wanted to be separated from her, because I felt like I might lose her. So I decided to propose and petition for her so that she can stay here and we don't have to be separated.
Wow, that's amazing. Now let me come back to you, Olivia. Now you see back, now getting married to a totally different person from how we are used back in Nyumbani.
Yeah.
These are, the culture. Were you not worried about this? And 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, this man is ready to marry me. Is he serious?
Yeah, so apart from those 3 weeks, that 3 weeks was just a proposal.
Right.
Then I went to Canada, and it took another, because when you come back in the US, you have to stay at least 60 days.
Yes.
For you to do any other process,
Right.
like changing your status. So of course I came back and we continued dating for another like 60 days, and then that was in around May, because I remember it was May, June, July, and then August 31st was our wedding. Yeah, so we continued dating a little bit until now we decided to start the wedding plans. Yeah, it was kind of culture shock, but at some point I felt so comfortable with him on how open he was, and how, I think I've never seen someone that just speak their mind,
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and being honest. Yeah, so, and then also the fact that the parents are involved,
Yes.
you feel like there's nothing this person is hiding,
Right.
if he was hiding something. And then I also spoke to my mother. My mother is also a pastor, and I talked to her and I told my mom, like, this is what is happening. I met this person, and what do you think? He wants to marry me. He was like, you never know God's plan. Sometimes you might even get somebody today and marry the person. If the person is meant for you,
Yes.
you can get him today and marry tomorrow. And for real, it came to pass, because now we've been together for 6 years.
Wow. This is amazing.
Together, yeah, almost 6 years now.
Now, when it's come for your time to introduce her to your parents, she's from Kenya. She's been here for a few months. How do your parents take it?
So they were a little bit skeptical that maybe she just wanted to gain status.
Yeah.
That's a very understandable.
You're right. Yes, it happens.
Assumption. So that's okay. I understood that they were nervous about it, but I just told them that this is what I want, and they were very supportive.
Yeah, they were very supportive. Actually, they did the wedding preparation, everything they catered for.
Wow.
Remember, I didn't have my family here, so everything, food, tents, even the uncle was there, the person that officiated. Zach's uncle is the one who officiated
the wedding. Awesome.
Yeah, like it was like a family thing. People brought food from their home to come and pass. Like one made like burger, another one made beans, another one like that, and then people were just like food. There was a big pot for people to pass.
Now you see, back home, you have to pay some cows, you have to pay some dowry, and over here, I hear now. How did that go about?
So I talked to her parents, and I told them that I understand that there's a dowry, and I explained to them that we don't actually have that in our customs and culture. They were understandable, but just out of respect, I told them that I would be sending them something when I could. you know, I haven't sent anything in a while, but I did send one time like $1,000 at once. And, you know, I've sent like $200, $300 here. So it's not like, you know, I paid them like $6,000 at once at any time, but, you know,
You're still in the process.
In the process, yeah.
I help, I help
Yeah.
them out when I'm able.
Okay.
Right now, you know, we just bought our house and we're having children. So, you know,
It's your time.
we also just need to feed and water our seed.
Right.
I understand that it's their culture for the dowry to happen, but it's just when the time is right,
It's
we can
gonna
make
happen.
that happen.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. I just want to remind you, the wazes, we call the wazes. The wazes are still waiting for you to take them something. So
Yeah.
make plans for that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, everybody is now trying to ask which app is this, because I know there are so many single women here, single men here in America. They just want connection. Which app is that? I mean,
Yeah, it's called Plenty of Fish. It's called
Plenty of Fish, okay.
Yeah, that's you go, you catch your fish there. Yeah, it's an app, but that app is just only, from what I understand, you cannot find it in Kenya.
So you have to be in the US.
You have to be in the US.
Okay.
But I remember on recent when I was on Lynn Boogie show, I remember they said if you have like a VPN, they call it VPN.
Yes.
Yeah, you can access it from.
Okay.
But now it's so hard because you cannot meet somebody in person, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
So for you, it was just a miracle.
yeah, mine was just a miracle, like, yeah. And then I didn't even stay for, you know, like I didn't even stay a week in
Yes.
the app. And then that was just my experience after I met him. We all agreed to delete the apps. Yes.
So before we go to the break, maybe I need to understand, does love has a language? Because now when you decide now to move in, it's not like in my native language that I speak to my wife the way I want. Now here you have like you have to speak English all the time.
Oh my God.
I mean, how is that?
I can't remember how many times I spoke to him in Swahili. And they're like, what did you say? I keep forgetting. Like my tongue was so heavy. You know, I'm used to Swahili.
Yes.
Coming back here. You know, he's laughing because he knows I used to speak Swahili.
It took like a week to get used to her accent. I kept on asking her to repeat what she was saying.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And also the fact every time I go somewhere, like when I go to a restaurant, they say I want hot water. People are like, what is water? You know,
Water.
it's water. You have
Water.
to use the accent.
You are right.
Like she wants some water. You know, like it was so hard. Like, you know.
But now here you are, counting years.
Yeah, counting years.
We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we now need to know challenges along the way,
Yeah.
especially now when you go to his people and maybe when you go to her people around this country. Like now you came in here, you find us Kikuyus and people from Kenya speaking our language. How does that feel? Do you feel like you are an outsider? But it's when we come back. This is Jeremy Damaris. All right, welcome back. I have Becca here and I have Olivia Becca. Now we are back. Challenges along the way. 6 years now.
Yeah, so we've had many challenges, I would say, but we've always been able to overcome those challenges.
Right.
You know, we've had financial burdens. We've had our fair share of disagreements, and but you know, we just moved past that.
Yes.
And compromised, so we can just grow together for the better.
Yeah. True. Did you have a challenge with Kenya when you met my family?
Have you been to Kenya, yes?
Yes, I did. I went in December of 2021, and it was my first time on a plane.
Right. Wow.
For international trip.
Oh,
not
international.
even local.
Not
So
Local is never.
I've never been on an airplane. So
just because you didn't want, or
so
you didn't have anywhere to travel to.
So no, we've always just traveled in the United States.
Yes.
And we've always just taken road trips.
Yeah, it's
So
fun.
when I was younger, we used to take road trips. I've been all over the United States.
Wow.
For the most part. But so I've never been on an airplane. But so when I went And I got on the airplane. I thought it was fun. And then I was like a couple hours in, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting a little bit cramped for me. But when we landed in Addis Ababa, I saw the landscape and the buildings, and I was like, these are like little tiny shacks with like some metal roofs that are just rusty throwing on top of them. So I was kind of shocked when I saw that. I was a little bit nervous, obviously. So we went from Addis Ababa to Nairobi airport, and it was pretty different when we got there from what I've seen in the U.S. You know, what I noticed is like the first thing I noticed is like the people are just driving like crazy. There's people driving on the side of the road and like
overlapping
off the shoulder of the road and everything, and they're just. I mean, so I thought that was kind of funny.
I was crossing the road.
And then we traveled from Nairobi to Nakuru, and I met Olivia's parents, and I was kind of like nervous once again, and I didn't really know how to communicate with them, but they were just so welcoming and nice. So once again, I was just very comfortable quickly with them. And I got to spend time with them and get to know them a little bit. And that was really nice.
And I know all this time your parent was still checking on you. Are you safe? Are you okay, son?
They were actually pretty relaxed. Yeah, they weren't overbearing or anything.
Okay.
So we went to Kissy from Nakuru, and I met Olivia's grandmother and her uncles and aunts, and they were really nice. They prepared a nice meal, and I got to see their homestead out there in the village, and you know, it was very different from anything that I've ever seen before.
Wow.
Like a whole different world.
So did you see Africa like what you have been seeing on TVs?
No, because I feel like they like to showcase a lot of the negative sides of things, like the poverty and the corruption, and maybe like they just make it look like it's like not a nice place, but it's actually a very beautiful place.
You're right. So you enjoyed your entire life there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's very beautiful.
So when you went with your Mzungu nyumbani, sasa watu wanasema umekuja na mapesa.
Oh my goodness.
Pesa.
Yeah, everywhere we go.
You know pesa?
Tell Mzungu to give us everywhere. From security guards when you are being... Yes, you know, even, you know, back at home in Kisumu, wachika kitu, you know, like, it was like, you know, there was too much expectation, but when it comes to my parents, it was different.
Right.
Like, you know, but, you know, yeah, so I get it. They see the color, and so most of the time, even when we are going to somewhere, I'm the one who was paying, because now the moment
Mzungu.
they see the prices changes,
the prices changes. You have to pay in dollars.
You go where I'm like, stay in that corner. Let me just go and try and check the sweatshirts,
Right?
You know. Because the moment they see me with you, they are going to charge me twice the price. You know?
I mean, I think that's what we have been. I mean, we grew knowing that, and definitely, I knew you became a celebrity when you landed in Kenya. Everybody wanted to.
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
it was different, and the word Mzungu is just kind of funny because it literally means like a white person.
Yes.
And if I referred to like somebody of color as like a black person, you know, like I feel like that might be a little bit racist.
Right.
But yeah, and everybody thought I had a lot of money, but I was actually on a pretty tight budget. I paid for my flight, and I only had like $800 to spend. So
yeah, that's a tight budget.
Yeah.
it was quite.
Initially, I was the one. I was just the only person that was to travel, so that I can go figure out things to do with school and all that. Because we left our 6-month-old here with our mother-in-law.
Wow.
So yeah, so he was not meant to travel at that point. So he just like, no, I have to come with you.
I understand.
I'm like, okay, let's go.
I mean, now, so far, so good. Now, what do you have to tell people about the whole journey, coming into a new country, settling down, having a family, kids? I know, you said how many kids you got now?
2.
2 kids.
Yes.
Ni wazungu ama ni...
Yeah, they are.
Which color?
Oh, I'll give you pictures.
Nice.
Gonna see.
Right.
Yeah, they are very handsome boys. Yeah, I can say it's not the journey is not like for the faint-hearted.
Yes.
Remember, this is a lifetime decision I had to make.
Yes.
Like I don't know how many times I had like sleepless nights trying to think like, am I doing the right thing? Even that time of the wedding, I'm just like, oh, my dad is not here. You know, I wish my dad could walk me down the aisle.
Yeah.
You know, like so many things. My family is not here. You know, it was not like a decision that it was not easy.
Yes.
You know, it's not the decision you make until you just tell God, please God, take charge.
Right.
You know, I'm just leaving everything into So I can say it was not easy because also like blending with culture, you know, culture shock,
Yes.
you know, how he does his things, how I do my things, how he like his food, how I like my food, you know.
Right.
We end up, even nowadays, we end up like cooking different food in the house because he likes the American food and me, I like my fish with the head, you know. He likes fillet, I cannot eat something that is looking at me, you know. So yeah, so I am like, you compromise. Oh,
Yes.
you want to have this fillet? Okay, me, I'm fine with having my fish with bones, you know.
So it's a lot of sacrifices.
It's a lot of sacrifices, yes. And the one thing I just love about him is like he's a chef. So when it comes to cooking, he cooks passionately, not being pushed.
Right.
So he does like 90% of cooking in the house. So me, when I'm having my Kenyan craving here and there, it's because now I'm also in nursing school full time, you know. I'm in nursing school full time. When I come in the evening, I literally don't have energy. Sometimes I worked overnight and I went to school, you know. And it's just been so much me trying to, you know, get into the system.
Yes.
And you know how the American system is, you know, like you really have to be patient. Yeah, so it's not been a journey. It's not been like an easy journey, even just taking care of kids. You know, you cannot afford a nanny in this country.
Yes.
It's next to impossible. But I thank God the fact that I go to school full time, I got a scholarship for daycare because now when they see you're not making too much money in school, and they give you a tuition assistance. So my kids are now, they go to one of the best daycare in Kalamazoo. And yeah, so all I can say, it's not been smooth. It's not, I mean, again, having a support system. I have a mother-in-law, like now my mother-in-law is with the kids. That's why we're able to come here.
Awesome.
Also just having those support system. But when you come here with no support system, you're an immigrant. It's not easy. But all in all, with Zach's support, I can say I've been able to accomplish so many things. Within just a span of 2019 and now, we've been able to buy our first house.
Wow.
We've been able to start our own business. We currently got licensed to start our own group home.
Awesome.
For those
Congratulations.
people who are in the US, you know, it's not
it's not easy.
easy to get licensing. Your house really hard to meet the standard. So we had to sit down and agree with him. Oh, we have this big house. Can we partition and we move downstairs? It's a sacrifice because we love our living space, but we had to give our entire upper floor
You're right.
for our
Yes.
business, you know, and moved our family downstairs. And you know, it's a sacrifice because we want to grow together and move together and also get out of this financial issue.
Right.
So probably once we fill those beds, we'll not be having this tough finances. You know, it's yeah. So what I can say, it's not been a journey for it's not been an easy journey, but I can't say like I'm in a bad place right now. Like I am doing so well.
Amen.
I've been able to, being a US citizen, I'm able to even study for free in school. Like
Yes.
there's so much scholarship, you know, you can apply. Like recently I needed like a laptop, and I don't know some things I needed for nursing school. Just go, there's, I don't know, emergency scholarship. There are so many scholarships. Like there are so many advantages. So I can't say I'm struggling. I'm in a better place as compared to where we began. And I know we are going far.
Amen. That's awesome. So now, what is the plan? What do you do for living anyway?
So I work in adult foster care. It's a group home, and we house developmental disability in adults. So I just assist them with activities of daily living. You know, we take them on outings and administer medications. So, yep.
Oh, so that's now why you want to start your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in order to get out of the cycle of just going to work and paying bills and then spending money on groceries and maybe getting the kids something, and you know, it's really hard to get out of the paycheck to paycheck kind of lifestyle.
Right. Yes.
So it's not going to get us anywhere. So we just really need to build this wealth, and it can be generational.
You're right.
So that way our children hopefully will not have to have financial hardships.
I mean, that's a good vision. And maybe as we wind up this interview, probably now you are friends. Do they admire kind of life you live with Olivia? We have so many beautiful ladies out there. Maybe we need more friends from your side. What do you say, Olivia?
Yeah.
So life is just super busy, and I don't really get much time to hang out with my friends. We chat on like text and stuff sometimes, but it's just with the children and with Olivia going to nursing school and starting the business and working a full-time job. It's just really hard.
The social life here is much difficult.
Yeah, so difficult, but I'm glad for me. I am a member of Kenyan Women in the USA. I am one of the admin there, and for me, you know, I get to like socialize. I get to blend, so like I get to socialize with my Kenyan community. So most of the time I'm always tagging Zach, and let's go to Grand Rapids, there's an event here, there's a Glimpse of Africa event, let's go and see what's happening. Oh, there's a gala here, oh, like today we came here. So it's become so easy for me to, it helps me like help me with the homesick because I get to see my people within here through that group. And you know, whenever I need somebody, it's just a call away or I just text. Whenever I need something, people are always in the group helping me out. Hey, who has a group? Or like now, the people who have helped me most are Kenyans that own group homes in this country. Like, hey, how did you do this? How did you go about finding clients? You know, so you find like it's easy when you're in a community.
Yes.
They help you, you know, elevate you up.
True.
You know?
So now when you go out there and find Olivia friends, probably like the way you just came in, do you feel comfortable when we're speaking our own language and stuff like that?
So, Yeah, I do. I always have a little bit of a social anxiety. That's just kind of my thing. It takes a while for me to warm up to people.
Right.
But you know, I'm mostly just to myself, anyways. You know, I can be pretty sociable, but generally, I'm really not that sociable. So you know, it doesn't really bother me, but I kind of would like to know like what the conversation is about sometimes. You know, that communication barrier can be real. With just like. I just listen and I try to pick up different parts of the conversation so maybe I can figure out what the subject is that we're talking about. But, you know, most of the time they're pretty understandable and will speak some English so I can also be a part of the conversation.
True. I mean, tukimaliza labda sasa wewe nikuulize na Kiswahili. Wale walembo wengi sasa wanakatwa na kuona na mzungu mnatembea tembea hivi. Hawakuambii si utufanyie connection utafutie watu.
Wanasema sana like they are always on my inbox wananiuliza aki nisaidie nimetafuta huku kuna a lot of character development tafadhali nisaidie nipate mtu. Yeah, sometimes I try to explain it's not as easy as it seems. You know, you know how hapa sasa tunaenda kwa barabara like socializing with people and getting to know
who is
like
who.
Sasa I have a sister home. Unaweza you know it's you know it's so hard. It's so hard. Hata kanisa, you know, after church people are always on
busy,
the run. Hata una zile magroups za youth group that utaenda ubond and then it's so hard to even start, you know. Inakuanga hard sometimes nawaambianga wanaona ni kama
ni wivu hutaki kuonyesha wote kufanya connection. So tell them here now they are listening.
Guys, me I want you to get guys, but it's not as easy as it seems. Social life here it's not easy. It's hard. Like it's so hard. When you go to class, even your classmates, like after class, people are always on the clock. You know, it's 10:01. It's 10 o'clock, time is up. People are always running to work or somewhere else. So I think what has really helped people in this country, mostly I can say it's the apps. Like that's where you get to meet people who now are looking for people. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I'll have gone to like church for long and maybe get to know somebody or you know, even in the first day nobody can even notice, you know, they can even know whether you are single or not. I don't know how it works, but it's not easy. I wish I could help you, but you know. Yeah.
Oh man, so what's your greatest fear now? I mean, what's your greatest fear? What's that you fear most?
Like
in life. About life, I mean.
So, I mean, there is a lot of like uncertainties about the future and stuff, you know, but I guess it's just, you know, getting quality time with the people that you love. You know, I just don't want to feel like I didn't give my time to somebody or just tell them that I love them, you know. So, you know, I guess there's a lot of uncertainties too about what the future might hold. You know, it's kind of tough to know sometimes where you'll be in like 5 years.
True.
But it's been amazing so far with Olivia. It's kind of dove in head first. But it hasn't been disappointing at all, you know? So.
I mean, I wish you a good life, guys, and may God give you all you need. And I know there are people who are watching us today and they just started their lives. They don't even know. They're just in the first step that you guys started. They're like language barrier, stuff like that, the anxiety. I mean, now, what do you have to tell the young people who are just now, who want to engage in relationship or who are still in the relationship right now?
Yeah, all I can say is that the first thing, always pray to God to give you like the right person. Also listen to your instincts. You can tell whether somebody is right, or you just pray for that. How do I call it? Yeah, God. I don't know if it's God's favor to just give you the right person. Yeah. So, and also do not expect like too much. Too much. Like there is that very much expectation you need from a person. Like when I met Zach, I don't think we even had like a house, because in the first place we lived with the parents for the first year of marriage.
Wow.
Zach had a house that he had bought, but I think the foundation was crumbling part, so he had just moved back to his parents. So when he married me, we stayed with parents for like a year.
How was that?
So yeah, she came to me when I was pretty much at like my lowest.
Oh.
Yeah, he was on his lowest.
So I had a house that I was buying on land contract. I didn't have any kind of inspection done on it. There was a corner of the house where there weren't any gutters, and the water was going down the corner of the house and right under the foundation. It was underneath of a deck.
Wow.
So I didn't see it. I don't know why I didn't look underneath the deck, right? I probably should have. But it just got worse. And it was going to cost a lot of money to fix the foundation properly. So I just decided to like get out of that situation because I didn't want to be held liable to fix a house that I couldn't afford to fix. So I just asked the person that was contracting to me to let me out of the contract.
Okay.
And they did. It did break the contract, and that I signed and everything, so I could have gotten in trouble potentially, but they were just nice, and they let me out. They just seemed to understand that I couldn't fix the house. So yeah, so I had to move back to my parents' house at that time, and yeah, it was kind of tough. I had also just quit working at the job that I had been for 6 years previous to that, and I moved to a different job.
Okay.
So it's like I didn't have my house, and I was just got a new job after working one job for 6 years. It was really
That was tough.
Yeah, so I met him with, I met him on his lowest.
Yes.
Like, I didn't have much expectation. Like, he didn't have much, and we lived with the parents until I got my work permit. So when two incomes come together, we were able to rent an apartment. We rented a one-bedroom apartment, and then we stayed there for a year. And then when our baby was born, we moved to a two-bedroom house now, because now one bedroom was little.
Yes.
And we moved to a two-bedroom house. And then when now Amani was born, our second born, we felt like, no, this is not. Because when you're in an apartment complex, sometimes when people smoke from downstairs, that smell used to affect us.
Right.
So, so I told Zach, no, here we have to do something. That is when now we started plans of buying a home.
Wow.
And made that decision within us 3 months. We are out of,
Yeah, I'm laughing because we also lived on the third floor of the apartment, and the kids were always jumping and playing. And the neighbor below us
always complain.
Oh, yeah, not just complaining. She was like insulting us, and
you stupid parents, you don't know how to take care of your kids.
Control your kids. I'm like,
how do you control your kids?
It's a 2-year-old. He's jumping and playing, listening to music on the TV. Like, don't let the kids be kids. Control them.
It's impossible. You guys, I think you have come from far, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, now you see some people think like ukipata mzungu wewe umeomoka.
No, that was not like my case. No, it wasn't.
You're inspirational. And I hear people saying that our ladies are very hardworking. You know, back home we invest a lot. So what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, so Olivia is very different. She's not the kind of person that would play a traditional role of a woman in a marriage. And I think we're pretty much past that anyways now here. But she is so hardworking. You know, I would be at home most days with our kid, and she would be working overtime.
Wow.
She would work like 80 hours a week, sometimes 85, 90 hours a week.
Wow.
And I don't understand how she did that. But yeah, she is very determined.
Yeah, I think I'm one person when I'm getting a goal, because I said we have to get this house. We have to start this business. I have to. I'm those person. If I set a goal, I'm not sleeping.
Yes.
I will do whatever it takes.
Amen.
Get there.
It is kind of tough with children, though.
Yeah, but I'm glad he helps me with children.
That's good. Getting a supportive husband is also a very good thing.
Yeah.
When she's working or away and the kids are home from daycare, you know, it's somebody has to take care of the kids. So, you know, we can't just both go work all the time.
Right.
Now that she's in nursing school, I switched to first shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I can be at home with the children in the evening, because I was working second shift before she started nursing school.
Amen. I'm very proud of you guys, and I wish you the best. Next time I'm coming, I want to see that. You said group home?
Yes, you will
Definitely, you will succeed. I like your zeal, and I mean, you are doing great, and I appreciate you for coming. And I believe hata nyinyi mnatutazama hapa umesikia si maisha si mteremko.
No.
Is a sacrifice. I mean, and they have decided to come together from two different cultures, and now here they are making difference in this country of America.
Yeah.
Wishing you all the best. Just in case if somebody want to get in touch with you guys, do you have social platforms?
Yes, I have social platform. On Facebook, I'm Olivia Baker. On Instagram, I'm Olivia Kerubo. On TikTok, I'm Olivia.K59.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Hata iko sumbuliwa Mzungu.
And
You're on Facebook?
So I'm not really too big on social media personally.
yeah.
I'm not the social light.
Okay, let's get in touch with Olivia just in case. Let us save Becca for that.
And if you want to learn about group home, please, you can contact me.
Yes.
And I'll be able to assist you, because laws in the US are standard, apart from just few things in your state that might be different. I've spent a lot of money to learn how to set up a business.
Yes.
So if you have any question, you don't need a consultant. Just DM me, just text me and ask me how to go about it, and I'll be happy to help you. Let's grow together.
Thank you very much. This is Jeremy Damaris, live from Detroit.